All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to go over just a quick little overview of our schedule that we're abiding to, along with, I believe it's just four simple questions that I'm going to dive into a little bit more in depthly in a few weeks on the webinar that'll be posted both on YouTube and on our Facebook page. So that being said, let me hop right into basically the schedule overview. The only thing two things I wanted to mention was the challenge that we're doing through July is the Get Outside Challenge. So for those of you that are Textron employees are at the building, you'll be getting desk drops on Monday mornings, which will include basically two different routes, a walking route and a running route. Obviously, the running route will be a little bit longer, and they'll both be progressive. So as the weeks go along, they'll get a little bit longer, a little bit more challenging, along with maybe some other goodies. And the whole challenge of this is to get outside, whether it's by yourself or with proper social distancing, a small group of colleagues or friends. Take a picture of yourself on that run or walk and send it to, or post it to our Facebook page, or send it to Emily Wright. I can include her email address if anyone would like me to do that. But you can find it pretty easy through the Eric page as well for those of you that are the Textron employees, which is what we're really gearing at. But the only other part with the schedule that I wanted to mention was obviously I'm doing the Ask the Trainer, which will be live on YouTube. You'll be able to stream it on the Facebook as well. That'll just be Thursdays at 10 a.m. A little bit quicker. We're going to try to move a little bit quicker, so just say 10 minutes or so. Like I said, those will be available on demand. And also now Tuesdays we're doing a very quick 5-minute desk stretch break, which you can do multiple times throughout your day, throughout your week. I try to add about 3 to 4 different mobility and exercises that you can do every day, and I won't do any repeats, no repeats. So you be able to keep building on and kind of pick your favorites and maybe design your own little stretch break on your own that you can be doing following that. So with that being said, the 4 big questions I'm going to answer are going to be: what are the major benefits of outdoor exercise? How many steps should I be aiming to achieve in your daily activities or just daily lives? What are some low impact activities that you can do outside? What are the benefits of those? Then the last one is: how can I do resistance training outside? Which has kind of been that major barrier through this whole COVID situation and gyms not being open, is how do I build strength or just develop muscle mass and incorporate resistance training into basically body weight training and outdoors. So with that being said, and like I said, I am going to dive a little bit deeper into a lot more of these topics in the later weeks as I have these full webinars that'll be posted. But for now, I'm just going to kind of skim and get to the major topics. So the first question is: what are the major benefits of outdoor exercise? And we've actually kind of coined this phrase. It's called a green exercise. The reason being is that it's due to the improved mood, self-esteem, and the decrease of depression and anger that the outdoor exercise gives you. Now, we don't really have a specific answer to this. It's been studied, many scientists. We have the data that shows it. We don't really know the answer. Maybe it's the effect of the sun, the different change of the air outside. Just natural medicine, but that's kind of why we called it green exercise, is just the fact of the boost of mood, self-esteem, and it's natural medicine with the decrease of depression and anger. Along with that is the low cost. I know going to a gym, whether it's a commercial gym or a mom and pop gym, an Orange Theory, a group class type of studio, it's going to cost money. And especially these days, we have such highly qualified trainers and coaches that, the costs are going to be higher because you have that level of expertise. Whereas you just want to walk outside and go on a running trail, a walking trail, walk or run on the beach, go on your bike, go rollerblading, which I'm going to get into all these, there's no cost to that. Which also kind of leads into our next big bullet point, which is the ease of access. I mean, you don't have to wait for, I know our gym, is only open on weekdays. Yeah, we have good hours during the weekdays. We open at 6 a.m. and close at 6:30, but weekends we're not open. You're constantly going to have to look at the gym hours, especially at the time that we're in right now. A lot of gyms have limited hours because they need to be staffed all the time, just to make sure that we're monitoring people wiping down equipment and social distancing and whatnot. So, if we're exercising outside, it's very simple. You just open up your door and go outside. You don't have to look at the hours or anything. Along with that is the major social aspect of it. Unless you're doing a group class, which if you even out, I mean, for the foreseeable future, long-time group classes are going to be completely different. They're going to be limited with participants. You're not going to be able to be as close. There's not going to be partner exercises or small group exercises within that group exercise, just limiting the contact, the touching, and just the social distancing aspect of it. So you're going outside, and you're with someone that you live with, whether it's your family or just a close friend who you've been with through this whole time. You can easily go out and exercise with them and not feel like you need to wear a mask or something. Now, obviously, this is all based on your personal um, preference and safety, but this is just kind of something you want to look at. Is if you're with someone that you've been with this whole time, you don't have to worry about um, wearing the mask and everything, and you can go out and you go kayaking, you can go swimming, you can go biking, but still maintain that social distancing aspect. You can throw a frisbee. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be touching, the same object as far as, if you're playing basketball, soccer, any type of sports or frisbee, but, get that hand sanitizer always ready so you can sanitize but still maintain that social distancing with playing outdoor activities. Tennis and golf. I mean, these are activities that are outside and require very, very little mutual touching, so to say, and you can easily maintain your social distancing. So, as you can see, I mean, there's so many different forms of activity and exercise, and when a lot of people think about exercise, they think about lifting weights, going for a run. What I'm trying to get at is that there's so many other forms of just general games and sports you used to play when you were younger, or maybe still play. Those count as exercise, and those are going to burn probably a lot more calories because you're going to be doing them for a longer period of time as just a 45-minute resistance training bout or 20-minute high intensity interval training, right? So let me branch off of that. So it's also the change in terrain environment. If you're going for a run on the treadmill, yeah, that treadmill can go up and down, but it's always the same type of impact. It's always that same belt. If you're in a group class, the floor is always going to be the same. You can only move in a few different directions. Same with weight. So basically what I'm saying is if you're playing any of those sports that I just listed or going for a run or walk outside, there's all change in terrain and environment as far as you go from sun to shade, you go from a running track, rubber material, to a hard pavement, to a loose gravel, to grass, to beach. There's so many different changes of environment, and that's what you kind of want to look at as well with when you plan your walking or running routes. Is just that change in terrain that's going to stress your body in different ways and constantly force your body to adapt. Okay, in running and walking on the beach, which kind of turns that which is a high impact motion to a low impact motion. Same with grass and even some of the tracks that have that cushionier rubber that can be a lot less impact on your joints, which I'll branch into a little bit later in this talk. But the other major part that I already kind of briefly touched on is that studies show that people that exercise outdoor on average get 30 more minutes of activity per week than those that exercise indoors. Okay, there's so many different factors that attribute to why this is true. But if you're playing a game, if you're playing frisbee, boom, wow, 20 minutes can fly by as opposed to you're doing high intensity interval training for 20 minutes. That can't be over soon enough, right? So it's just that perception of how time goes is kind of my theory on that. So those are just your general, what are the benefits of being outdoors? As you can see, it's basically endless. And, we should always be exercising outdoors. Unfortunately, living in New England, we pretty much only have indoor gyms, but if you go west or south, there's a lot of those outdoor gyms too. So if you ever do take a trip out there, maybe it's not going to be in the foreseeable future, but if you do, check those out, and you'll definitely see the boost in energy that you have when you work it outside. Next question I can breeze through pretty quickly, and they're touching on this, or we're touching on this with the outdoor July challenges. How many steps or moves should I be aiming to achieve daily? So let me just say why I did the little air quotes for moves. When you have a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, it's not really counting steps. It's counting moves. So as you can see, I'm kind of a hand talker. And even when I do this, or I fold laundry, or rake the leaves, right? I'm still getting a lot of steps, but it's not really steps, they're moves, which is fine because that's called NEAT. It's just the general calories that you burn going throughout your daily life. It's not simply taking a step that's going to burn those calories. So think of it as moves as opposed to steps. Now, what you should be thinking of is trying to aim for about 10,000 moves or steps a day. If we're relating it to steps, then about 2,000 steps is 1 mile. So about 5 miles a day. Okay, you're probably thinking ahead, wow, 5 miles. You're thinking about like a 5-mile run or 5-mile walk every day. You're like, wow, that's a lot. Well, let's put it this way. If you just go out, there's been days where I'm, football Sundays in the fall, right? I might not move at all. I basically am just on the couch and cooking and cleaning and doing daily activities. I'm getting 5,000 steps or moves just doing that. So it's very simple. I know it may seem sound hard, but it's really not that challenging to get that 10,000 steps. And maybe it's just as simple as adding in that little 1 mile walk to get those additional 2,000 steps at the end of the day. Okay, so and don't think of it as a one bulk 5 miles. Think of it as a half mile here, a half mile here, a mile here, a half mile here. Set micro goals as opposed to that macro goals. It's once again, it's that perception thing. Um, so the next one, which I want to start talking on, and I really want to make sure I hit this on this, and I'm going to speed up a little bit here, is what are some different low impact activities I can do outside, and what are the benefits of those low impact activities. So let me touch on the latter first. Is what are the major benefits of low impact activities? Well, as we get older, all of our joints, everything all the way down, ankles, knees, hips, spine, yes, your spine is a joint, it takes a lot of beating because of all that weight that you hold, no matter what your size is, there's a lot of beating on your joints. Every time you sit down, you stand up, you maneuver, you're putting a lot of stress on these joints. So basically, low impact are exercises that aren't putting as much direct load and stress on those joints. Okay, so some quick examples. I'll just run through these. Biking is low impact. Walking on the beach. I guess someone would consider walking high impact, but once you go on the beach, there's a lot more shock absorption of the sand, so it turns into low impact. Kayaking, swimming, which swimming is like the gold standard of low impact exercise. Rollerblading, yoga. Okay, so those are some quick benefits of those low impact activities, and not limited to just those. There's so many different activities that you can be doing. If you have any more examples, comment them down. Let's get a nice little list going. But for this last question, and it's a loaded question, I'm trying to sum it up as quickly as possible, is how can I do resistance training outside? Okay, so first of all, if we just want to talk about, a lot of you don't have equipment, you're just using your body weight. There's a bunch of different ways, and I don't really have the time to break these all specifically down, but think about isometrics. Isometrics is holding a position. So instead of going up and down in a squat, you go down to that low squat and hold it. Isometrics, supersetting, so working two different muscles back to back with zero rest, okay? Muscles that work against each other, so bicep, tricep. One flexes, the other extends, right? So think about doing something like that. A compound set, so doing two different muscle grips at the same time. Changes of your range of motion. So maybe just going back to a squat, just going to the full bottom of your squat, coming up halfway, back down, so like a pulsing squat, right? These are different ways that we can challenge our body. Think about a general push-up. Instead of just doing a regular push-up like okay, do a push-up till failure and then make it easier. Okay, these are forms of a mechanical drop set. So quick example, be doing a push-up, regular push-up from the ground, and then putting your hands on a staircase. Maybe it's an outdoor staircase on your deck, or put on the bumper of your car. Going till failure again. Okay, then go to your knees and elevation and keep going till failure. These are ways to really stress your muscles by just using your body weight. I can go on and on with those, but some of you, a lot of you have probably gotten some light dumbbells or borrowed light dumbbells from us. Different types of bands, tube bands, mini bands, super bands. There's so many different exercises that you can do with these that add an external resistance to your body that's going to build strength. Jump ropes, all of these are extremely, extremely cheap options. Mats, yoga mats, weighted or extremely foamed pads. Go outside on your deck or your lawn and do these general exercises. You don't have to go far. You don't need to find a track or a park that's open or a playground or a field. Just go to your backyard. I know some of us might not be blessed with these huge backyards, but you got to have at least a little strip. Maybe you do have a deck. Maybe you have a patio. Maybe you have your front steps. Even your driveway. That's what I was saying. Get some mats, lie them out, back your car out a little bit. That way people don't see you if you're worried about that. There's so many different ways that you can achieve what you're going for. And also, I know we're in Rhode Island, so gyms based on the governor said that they could open on June 1st. So we're about 5 to 6 weeks into that. So a lot of you may be going to other external gyms, commercial gyms that have opened up. So if you don't feel comfortable being in there, ask if they have a back parking lot, a back lawn, or a lawn that you can maybe take some equipment over, and ask the gym manager or employees, hey, do you mind if I bring over a small set of dumbbells or a jump rope or something? Don't say that, oh, Zach told me I could do this, but they should really encourage you to do this, because that was part of the model and the restrictions with saying that gyms should open, is they're trying to not enforce, but they're really urging people to get outside, and if they have any access to outdoor air is to open up windows, doors, whatever they can to get external airflow into the gym. So give that a try as well. So there's always ways to exercise outside, even though a lot of your weights are inside. There's an easy way to move them out. I know at my gym, I typically used to do a Saturday boot camp class where I take a rower outside, I take a trap bar outside, I take battle ropes outside, kettlebells, I hang a T-Rex up in the tree. So there's ways that it can be done. You just got to really get creative and get your creative juices flowing. That's everything I wanted to cover. And like I said, I know with these I can talk a little quick and kind of skim through a lot of stuff. If you want me to break these down a little bit more in depthly or something that's more specific to you or your situation, let me know, and I would love to work with you and try to figure out exactly how we can make whatever it is that I mentioned that really kind of tickled your fancy and make it work exactly for you. So that being said, thank you for watching this Ask the Trainer. I tried to keep it about 15 minutes. I do my best. So once again, thank you for taking your time and watching this. I'll be live every Thursday at 10, and the live stretch breaks will be on the Facebook page. I might do them on YouTube as well, Tuesdays at 10. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep moving.